She wasn't a chief daughter, not a priest child. But when the sky refused to shine, it was her voice the moon waited for.
Seeker of stories, you've just stepped into Temple Timeless Tales, where ancient wisdom, forgotten truths, and the whispers of the ancestors come alive. Every tale here carries the heartbeat of Africa, woven with spirit, memory, and magic. Are you ready to listen?
This is Whispers of the Ancestors, Episode 5. When the moon forgot to rise. An African folktale of silence, truth, and restoration. The night without light. Distant crickets serenading the twilight, gradually fading into an abrupt hush. A gentle breeze rustling leaves ceases. The familiar chirping of evening birds goes silent. In the heart of the land, nestled among ancient baobab trees and the winding embers of the river Niger, lay the vibrant village of Umoeze. For generations, life in Umoeze flowed with the rhythm of the sun and the gentle guidance of the moon. Each night, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, the villagers would anticipate the silvery ascent of their celestial guardian. The people had prepared, as they always did. 80 clay lamps, fueled by fragrant palm oil, were lit, casting warm, dancing shadows on mud walls, adorned with stories printed by hand. The aroma of yams roasting slowly over open fires filled the air, a promise of evening sustenance. Fire embers, carefully tended, glowed like watchful eyes in the gathering darkness, ready to ward off the night's chill. The children, their eyes wide with anticipation, had gathered in the village square, their small feet itching to dance in the cold, ethereal glow of the moonlight. Lovers, their hearts beating with unspoken desires, had sought out their secret trysting spots, ready to whisper sweet nothings under the moon's silver gaze. The elders, their faces etched with wisdom, had settled on their woven mats, waiting to offer their nightly blessings under a gentle light, sharing tales passed down through countless generations. But this night was different. The moon never came. The sky above remained an empty, oppressive stretch of ink. Not a single star, usually scattered like diamonds across velvet, dared to blink its familiar light. Not a wisp of cloud, hovering playfully drifting across the lunar face, dared to move, as if frozen in place. Time itself seemed to pause, suspended in an unnatural stillness, as if the very heavens held their breath in bewildered anticipation. Panic and the withering. Low, anxious murmurs spreading through the village. The crackling of hastily lit torches, their flames casting long, distorted shadows that dance with the glowing fear. Hurried footsteps as villagers move with increasing unease. At first, a sense of bewildered confusion rippled through Umoise. They thought it a mere delay, a momentary obstruction, perhaps a mischievous cloud, thicker than usual, playing tricks on their eyes. Some whispered of a forgotten eclipse, though the memory of the last one was vivid in their minds. But as the hours stretched into an unending darkness, and the familiar comfort of the moon's presence remained absent, a knot of unease began to tighten in their stomachs. By the second night, the subtle shift turned into undeniable signs of distress. The lifeblood of Umoise, the fatal earth that sustained them, began to show its sorrows. The proud stalks of cassava, usually standing tall and vibrant, began to bow their heads in an unnatural droop. Their once firm root turned bitter and inedible. The broad, glossy leaves of the plantain trees, normally rustling with life, curled inward at their edges, turning a sickly yellow. Even the usually boisterous goats, their playful bleating, a constant soundtrack to village life, grew quiet and nervous, refusing to graze on the dew-kissed grasses, their instincts sensing the imbalance in the world. A palpable fear began to grip the village. The elders, their faces etched with worry, lines deeper than usual, gathered with solemn faces at the ancient shrine of Oji, the revered sky giver. Their voices, usually strong and resonant, were now filled with a desperate plea as they called her name. Their rhythmic rattles and ancient chants echoing through the unnaturally silent night. They offered sacrifices of kola nuts and palm wine, their prayers rising with the smoke from the flickering strong fires. But the sky remained stubbornly blank, offering no sign, no reassurance, no explanations for its unusual behavior. The dream. And then, on the third night of the unbroken darkness, a dream descended upon the village, not upon the wise elders or the respected chief, but upon a child named Adana. She was no one of particular note in the village hierarchy, not the chief's favored daughter, adorned with beads and stories, not the priest's king, private to the sacred rituals, just a quiet, observant girl who often found solace in the company of ants, tracing intricate spirals in the red earth with her small fingers, our imagination weaving tales in the dust. In our dream, the familiar landscape of Umoise dissolved, replaced by a desolate field of grey earth stretching as far as our eyes could see. Hairy shadows, elongated and distorted, moved like mournful spirits amongst the dust. Their forms vastly human, yet uncertainly flew. And from the swirling smoke that clung to the ground like a shroud, a figure began to coalesce, the form of a woman. Her voice deep, resonant, ethereal, with the hint of sorrow. She whispered,
"The moon, our guiding light, hides not out of fear of the darkness, but out of a deep and profound shame."
Adana, though unafraid in her waking hours, trembled in the dreamscape as the woman drew nearer. An ancient wisdom radiated from her presence. Her eyes glowed with a soft internal light, like forgotten embers slowly rekindling. Her skin, a tapestry of wrinkles, seemed to hold the weight of centuries, each line a testament to stories untold, secrets unforgotten. The grandmother spirit.
Long ago, the sky, once a canvas of harmony, was marred by a terrible curse, born of a bitter betrayal. A sacred fowl, whispered under the watchful eyes of the ancestors, was carelessly broken, shattering the delicate balance between the heavens and the earth. And in response, the moon, as celestial mother, turned her luminous face away from the children of the earth, unable to bear witness to their transgressions, until the truth of that ancient moon is spoken aloud, and the broken bow is mended. She will not rise again.
The telling. The sounds of early morning in the village. A gentle crowing of a rooster. The soft stirring of people beginning their day. A low hesitant flute melody drifts through the air. Adana awoke with a gasp, her small body trembling, tears still clinging to her long eyelashes like morning dew. The dream, so vivid and unsettling, felt more real than the waking world. With a sense of urgency she couldn't explain, she ran to the gathering place of the elders, her bare feet pounding on the dusty earth, her voice filled with a child's earnestness as she repeated the dream, every detail, every whispered word of the grandmother's spirit, etched clearly in her memory. But the elders, their faces etched with fatigue from nights of worry and fruitless prayers, listened with a mixture of skepticism and dismissal. Children dream of foolishness. One elder, his voice raspy with age, muttered, waving his arm dismissively. The absence of the moon has nothing to do with fanciful tales of broken vows, said another, his tone sharp with frustration. The sky is simply being stubborn. But amidst the murmur of disbelief, one voice, though frail, cut through the air with surprising strength. An old woman, Obadiah, strong and slow, with a hint of knowing.
Every silence, no matter how deep, has a beginning. And every shadow, no matter how long, holds within it the faint outline of a truth.
It was Obadiah, the oldest woman in Umeze. Her back was bent with the weight of nearly a century of seasons. Her eyes clouded with time, but her voice, though slow and deliberate, bore the undeniable weight of generations, a living link to the ancestors. Obadiah's speech.
Let the girl speak her truth. Let us listen with open hearts. For some time, wisdom whispers in the most unexpected of voices.
The story of betrayal. The gentle crackling of a large fire, its flames leaping and dancing, casting flickering light on the faces gathered around. A low, almost imperceptible whisper of wind rustling through the leaves of the ancient fire tree. Occasional soft gasps from the listening villagers. So, under the sprawling branches of the ancient fire tree, the heart of the village communal life, Adamna, emboldened by Obadiah's unwavering gaze, recounted the story revealed in her dream. Her voice, though small, carried a weight that belied her ears. Her words painting a vivid picture in the minds of the listeners. She spoke of a time long before the memory of any living soul. A time when the moon was not just a silent observer in the night sky, but a nurturing mother to the earth and its inhabitants. She told of a man, a revered priest of light, entrusted with the sacred duty of maintaining the delicate harmony between the sky and the earth. He had sworn a solemn oath before the ancestors, a promise never to dishonor the sacred bond, never to betray the trust placed upon him. But in his relentless hunger for greater power, for influence that stretched beyond its rightful place, he committed a sacrilege. He spilled the sacred ash, a symbol of purity and connection to the spirit world, in an act of selfish ambition. He uttered lies before the watchful eyes of the ancestors, his words twisting the truth for his own gain. He dared to touch the sacred artifact without undergoing the necessary cleansing rituals. His heart impure, his intention tainted. And so, the moon, witnessing this grievous transgression, turned away, not in a fit of angry celestial fury, but with a deep, inconsolable heartbreak, like a mother unable to bear the sight of her child's profound betrayal. Adamna, her voice filled with a child's innocent sorrow.
She weeps still, the grandmother spirit told me. Our tears are the dew that no longer falls, and she hides our lights from us, so we do not have to fully see the extent of our shame. The shadow of that ancient betrayal that still clings to our land.
The act of restoration. A soft rhythmic drumming began, the sounds of villagers preparing for a sacred ceremony, the gentle splashing of river water being poured into calabashes, the soft talk of ants parting earth, the low resonant hum of quiet contemplative singing. Obadiah, her aged eyes glittering with unshed tears, a mixture of sorrow and a flicker of renewed hope, rose slowly to her feet, her frail frame radiating an unexpected strength. Her voice, though soft, carried the authority of generation as she called for the sacred grove, hidden deep within the ancient forest, to be open. A place where the ancestors were believed to dwell, a sanctuary untouched by the ordinary world. It is time, she declared, her voice resonating with a profound certainty, to cleanse what was soiled by the grit of the past, to speak the truth that has been buried under layers of silence and forgotten history, to finally mend the broken bond. The villagers, their initial skepticism replaced by a growing sense of purpose, gathered with solemnity. They carried intricately carved calabashes filled with the cold clay water drawn from the sacred river Niger, its current carrying the whispers of the land. With reverence, they smeared the rich, dark earth upon their foreheads and chest, a symbolic gesture of humility and reconnection to the very ground that had begun to wither. Their voices, once filled with anxious murmurs, now join in a low, heartfelt chant, speaking the forgotten names of the ancestors, calling upon their wisdom and forgiveness. And as their collective voices rose in a unified plea, a change began to ripple through the world around them. The oppressive stillness of the sky began to stir. A gentle wind begins to rise, rustling the leaves of the ancient trees, carrying with it a sense of awakening. A distant rumble of thunder, not menacing, but more like a deep sigh from the heavens. Adana, guided by an unseen force, stepped into the center of the gathering. Her small hands, usually tracing patterns in the dust, were now raised towards the heavens. Her face upturned, her eyes filled with an innocent hope. Her voice, clear and strong, despite her age, rang out through the grove. Adana, we see now, Grandmother Moon. We remember the transgression of the past. We speak the truth that was hidden. And with humble hearts, we return to the path of balance and harmony. Moonrise. The gentle haunting flute melody returned, now imbued with a sense of hope and resolution. It gradually swells, accompanied by a crescendo of soft, ethereal choral humming, voices blending in an harmonious wave of gratitude. And then, through the parting clouds which separated like celestial curtain drawn by an invisible hand, she appeared. The moon, full and radiant, weeping tears of pure silvery light that cascaded down upon the expectant village. She rose slowly in the inky sky, not with a triumphant fanfare, but with a gentle, forgiving grace, a luminous presence washing over the land. And the people of Umeze, their faces illuminated by a soft glow, fell to their knees, not in fear of our long absence, but in profound gratitude for our return. A collective sigh of relief and wonder swept through the village. Adonna, the quiet girl who once whispered secrets to ants and drew stories in the earth, was no longer just a child of Umeze. From that night forward, she would be forever known as Adana, the one who spoke the truth and brought the sky back. Sometimes the sky in its vast wisdom forgets to shine upon us, not because it is broken or has abandoned us, but because it patiently waits for us, the children of the earth, to remember the lessons of the past, to speak the uncomfortable truths that lingered in the shadows, and to take the necessary step to restore the delicate balance of our world. These are timeless whispers of the ancestors. Listen closely, for they speak even in the silence. If this ancient tale of Umweze resonated with the whispers in your own hearts, please take a moment to like this video. Share it with others who might find wisdom in its message. And subscribe to Temple Timeless Tales for more stories from the heart of the land. Leave us a comment below. What forgotten truth do you believe the moon, in its infinite wisdom, might...
We may end here, but the echoes of the ancestors continue in every whisper of the wind and silence of the moon. If this tale stirred something in your spirit, don't let it fade. Like, share, and subscribe to Temple Timeless Tales, where stories are not just told, they are remembered.